moving on. Part 2.
And we're back.
Okay.
Still working on the technical details. But the issue is that because he's able to be in this slightly externally rotated position, that means when he achieves the bottom position, i.e. repeated coming out of the top, he automatically winds up. And now, instead of just hanging on one aspect of the joint, we've got lats, we've got all the connective tissue, a la anatomy trains, we've got the joint structure, capsule organized, and rib cages down. If you adopt this overhead position, and your first pull you break is that you tilt, go ahead and tilt for me, ribcage tilt. This is the equivalent of being extremely broken overhead, pressing, which ends up in a weak position, so it's the same.
Right.
Does this affect your hands and not tearing?
Depending on what you're doing. But if you don't have a very good grip, it will definitely tear your hands up more because you'll end up sliding. But the beauty of it is if you have a good grip, what happens is you can now hinge around the wrist, make the kip smaller and tighter and faster, and you avoid ripping. I always say that ripping is a sign of non-functional movement. So if you're ripping, you're pretty much
Wait a minute. You're saying that I have to come out unharmed out of movements?
Check.
And tearing off all the skin on my palm is harm?
Only when you bite it, it's allowed.
Because that's paleo.
That's right.
Check. Any other thing you want to talk about? I like this as a diagnostic tool because when I have athletes adopt this position and try to pull, when it's a dead giveaway in 2 seconds that athletes are missing overhead range and can't put their arms up over their head without sacrificing this position, because when they hang, all of a sudden they feel so much torque and they feel so connected for the first time they don't like it.
Totally. I think there's another thing to add is that, and this is an ongoing discussion, and it may make the video too long, but when you're actually hanging and you allow yourself to grip it the right way, you force that torque at the shoulder, and now there is no two-piece movement happening, meaning that there's no upper and then lower extremity not connected in the middle. And then you're not forced to actually pull down. This just breaks the system, and now you can actually create some movement. So
one of the things that I think is we should dovetail since we're here is that when I see a bent elbow in the backswing, that's a dead giveaway that someone is basically looking, go ahead and do that, Carl, looking for internal rotation. Because the elbow is bent, what's happening is that Carl is internally rotating the shoulder into an unstable position. This allows him to achieve sort of a backswing. This is why we see a lot of athletes overhead squat with bent elbows, and this is the primary reason that we see ulnar collateral ligament issues, why we see epicondylosis elbow pain. And when I see this problem, you see a bent elbow hang on a pull-up rack, you should think missing overhead and missing stability overhead. And one of the ways that we can block that is to get your thumb over the bar. You're not allowed not to.
And if you can't block it with just the grip, just bring your hands in closer together or force it in.
Bam. By the way, he started this with a backflip off the container.
I didn't stick it though. I'm kind of bummed.